We need to reinvent the way we think about studying war and peace. War is an easy outcome to measure. War you can observe all the time, but just knowing how wars start doesn't give you that much purchase on how to end war. So we have to find a way to think about modeling peace as an outcome instead of modeling war. Lots of people study protest behavior, social movement behavior, but not in a systematic way where you generate what we call large N data, lots of observations, and you model them statistically. What I'm trying to do, which is my intellectual tradition, is see whether you can't develop statistical models that account for the process over a broad swath of cases. In my world, climate change is really a political problem, not a technological problem. One of the things we know from the systematic literature on war is that resources seem to be one of the reasons that people go to war with each other. If we heat the planet up to a level that makes sustainability a real issue to deal with, then we're also going to have to figure out how to prevent the genocides and the armed conflicts that come out of that. That to me is a question of foresight in politics. One of the things we don't know in how civil wars start is how nonviolent protest turns into armed rebellion. A nonviolent protester is going to be really reluctant to take up a gun against their government. So I started a project to generate data on all protest activity, and I'm in the process with some graduate students of trying to model the process as it unfolds, to see whether there are systematic patterns which compel the protesters to arm. If we knew how that happened, then we'd have a much better hand on preventing the outbreak of civil wars. I'm teaching a course called the Methods of Peace Studies. It's for first-year graduate students. In the class, there are 2 theologians, a historian, and 2 political theorists. And the objective is to get them to be able to at least converse with each other across their disciplinary boundaries. The value to that, which I think today is not completely realized, that if the problems are big and complex, then the study of them has to at least stand up to the challenge of the complexity. When they talk about the arguments and evidence that provide an understanding of ethical behavior, then I can actually think about how I might use those ideas in my own modeling. We got to get the different disciplines integrated with the political science so that we can use the theoretical ideas to develop empirical models so that we can actually figure out how they all tie together. So if we can pull that off, it's a huge asset to the world that's trying to manage peace.